Hello everybody. Give me just a minute to get everything shared and we will get started. Everybody, give me just a minute to get everything. Whoops. I have to pull it up on my computer so I can share it in the group. Okay. Hi Denise. Good. Noonish. Good morning. Is it still morning? We'll call it morning. I feel like I'm dragging today. I'm trying so hard to get everything going so I could get on here and do this video. But I am slacking. And I think I've got everything ready. So we're going to give everybody a little bit to get on. And we'll get started. Oh yeah, it's only 10:30 there. So it's 11:30 here. But it feels a little later. Like it's almost lunchtime. So it's not quite morning. But it's not really afternoon. So whatever. Okay. I hope y'all can see me okay. I'm still working with the lighting. I didn't get my lamp set up yet. I am going to bring one in here, but it takes me having to move everything around to get to a plug and get it all plugged in and set up back there in the corner, right? So we are working on getting the lighting just right, and I apologize if it's not perfect for y'all, but I try. I really do. So today we're going to, well, let's just say, okay, I just released today's new releases. We have the credit card holder key fob, or card holder key fobs, not just for credit cards. The card slot applique add-on, so you can add that into any of your larger bags that you might be doing. 5x7 would be the smallest I would recommend. So obviously, you know, the card slot applique I don't think would fit very well in a 4x4. Let's see. Oh, and the other bag, the other new release today was the top zip quilted bag, which we'll be doing a video for that tomorrow using the candy wrappers. So that bag was designed specifically for candy, you know, the candy wrapper bags that everybody's making. So we'll talk more about that one tomorrow, but today's video will be for the card holder key fob. It looks like this, and I know I'm not the first one who came up with this idea, but I did add some of my own touches. So it is made in my way. This is how I wanted it to be. So this is how it is. I know everybody says, you know, there's one of those already out. Well, there's about 100 zip bags out too, or thousands actually, probably would be more accurate. So each designer comes up with their own ideas for a particular design. They put their touches on it, and then, you know, you come up with something different. So this one is made differently than the others that I've seen. I do like it. It ends up looking similar because basically it is a card size key fob. So it does look the same. It does stitch differently though. So I've got a clear pocket here on the front, and then a pocket inside, and then a bigger pocket on the very back with a little tab. So this is what we are going to be working on today. I've stitched several of them. I think this one is my favorite with the heartbeats. I love that vinyl, and it came from Glitterbug Fairy. I believe is where I got that Heartbug vinyl from. Let me double check. Yes, Glitterbug Fairy. I've got little tags in my bins right there that says where each one. So the ones up there is my Punk Embroidery, Glitterbug Fairy, and the Crazy Craft Lady on the bottom. So I just have to keep up with my vinyls so I can make sure to tell y'all the right ones. It's hard to keep up when you get so many. But anywho, so I've done this one too with the LV vinyl. And today we are going to be using these materials. The Fun Paw Prints and some lime green. And then a piece of clear vinyl for the front pocket. And for that front pocket, you don't have to use clear vinyl if you don't want to. You can put another piece of regular vinyl on there if you don't want it to be see-through, and then you'll just have another card slot and you won't be able to see into it. But I like the idea of having the clear pocket so I could keep my ID in there as well, and it'd be easy to show. Let's see. I can't see the comments very well today. Okay. Sorry. I know this is weird. I'm just staring at the phone, but I'm reading my comments. Have to watch. Gotta leave pretty soon. Okay, Erling. I hope you just saw. I did just show the finished product of what we were going to be working on. I know I don't always do that, but I did try to go ahead and, or I am trying to go ahead and do that more at the beginnings of the videos. Okay, so this is the finished product. This is what we were going to be making today. This video will remain live in the group under the Units tab for future viewing. So it will always be available for you. Any questions? Oh, and all the designs are available today at intro pricing at embroideryplayground.me. That the intro pricing is for today only, so tomorrow morning I will be switching it back. They will all be back to regular price. The prices do vary for each of the 3 new release designs, so you'll just have to check the links in the, or check the website for each individual listing to get the exact pricing. And I'm gonna go ahead and spin y'all around to the machine. Little sticker over the light so it's not too bright for y'all. Does that help? I think it might. And I am going to be using lime green, but it is going to be green. Let's do this variegated. It's green and yellow. Since I'm doing those paw prints, I want something a little more fun colored thread. I had gold already loaded, but I switched the vinyl that I was going to be using, so that sticker's not going to stay today. There, I think that helped. Did it? Okay. I can switch it back to the pink. I just got out I know my chair squeaks, y'all. It's so annoying. Sorry about that. I had just switched to a sticky note. I figured, you know, just peeling the sticky part off of a sticky note would help. We'll do the washi tape though. if you think that that helps with the light a little bit better. Let's see, did that help? It kind of gives it a pink tone to it, but maybe that mutes it a little bit. Oh no, Linda, are you froze? I did step away from the for a minute, so it might have just looked frozen. I had turned around to get my tape. Okay, well, I hope Linda's still here. Okay, good. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get started. And the first step, the first two steps are placement lines. And so I'm going to stitch the first one now. And this one will be 2 parallel lines, and these are for placement markings for your pockets. So you will need those later on. But we want to stitch them at the very beginning, because after you've already got everything on the hoop, it won't stitch those. It'll stitch on top of your stuff, and this is just the way that I found to work out better. So those lines, we're just going to go ahead and stitch those, and they're in place, and we don't have to worry about them again for a few steps. So the next stitch will be a placement line for your little ribbon loop, your little tab. So I use a swivel lobster clasp and a piece of fold over elastic, and I just hook my elastic onto the clasp just like that, and then lay it right on top of that placement line. And I'll kind of hold it in place until it gets stitched down. It just runs that one stitch down and back. Okay. Can y'all see that okay? So these were my first 2 lines right here. And then I stitched one placement line here, put my ribbon tab down, and stitched a tack down. So if you want to put a piece of tape over here just to kind of hold that steady, you can. I haven't had a problem with it being in the way when I just leave it there. I just kind of tuck it over to the side, and it doesn't get stitched over or anything. Alright, so the next step will be a full outline for the entire card holder, and that will be the placement for your first piece of vinyl. Okay, your first vinyl will be the one that you see here at the very back. So it's the gray one will be first, the green one will be second, and then the clear one will be third, and then we'll put the backing on. So first we're going to go ahead and do this gray one. Well, it's green, but it's in place of that, where that gray one is. So I've got my outline completely stitched. And it looks like this. See the outline going all the way around? I'm going to put my piece of vinyl covering that entire outline. And we'll go ahead and stitch the tack down for this piece. do kind of hold it in place just a little bit, just so to make sure that it doesn't shift. Okay. See how we've got it tacked down now? And my presser foot jumped down to this spot, just above the elastic. And if you flip up your edges, you can see where your lines, your placement lines are. That's the ones we'll be looking at right now. So it's time to place our second piece of vinyl, and I'll be using the paw prints for it. And I'm going to line up my top edge of the paw print vinyl with that top stitch line. So I'll find my line over here and line it up, and my elastic is lined up right in between those two lines, so I can use the top piece of my elastic to line up this left hand side, and then I can see the line on the right hand side. So I'm going to put a little piece of tape here on the top, just to give me a little bit of added security that it stays in place. And I'm going to go ahead and stitch the tack down. And you will notice that on that tack down, it does not go all the way to the very bottom. It leaves about a 1/4 of an inch line from the bottom. That way when you put a card in that pocket, it sticks up just a little bit higher than the other card in the very front, so you can grab it a little easier. So we've stitched the tack down for that pocket, and now my presser foot has jumped over to the bottom piece of the elastic over here. So we're going to put on our next piece of vinyl, lined up with the bottom line. Stick. Tape just to help hold it still for me. And stitch that tack down. Oh, also this is a 4x4, so this design does fit in a 4x4 hoop. Sorry about that. I just now saw your comment, Michelle. So we've got all our pockets on now, and now we will be stitching the placing the back, the vinyl on the back, covering the entire outline of the cards, pockets. And I'm going to put just a little piece of tape at the top and bottom. This piece of back, well, it fell off. I guess that tape didn't want to hold. Let me just go ahead and spray it. Spray basting just helps so much for me. So our backing vinyl will go on the back side of the hoop, covering the outline of the stitching. It doesn't matter if it goes over those little lines that we made. Those will stick out on the sides, and that's okay. But your main outline is what we're wanting to cover. So we put it on the back of the hoop. Make sure your little tab is over on the left so it's not in the way. And now we're going to go ahead and stitch the tack down for the backing. This design is so quick and easy to make, y'all, and they turn out so cute. And it does run all the way back up. It gets to this point down on the corner, and it runs all the way back to the top, and then comes back down, so it'll end at the bottom. I hate when I have designs that that have pockets on them like this, and then they end at the top, and when it ends, it jumps back to the middle, and it'll rip all of those pockets, or you know, the foot will grab in there, and it'll pull the whole thing out of the hoop, and it could damage your vinyl, your machine, or your heart. Minor heart attack every time that happens, and I know it. So I always try to make my designs end in a safe place. That's why sometimes they'll get to a certain point making the bean stitch or that, you know, stem stitch or something, and then it'll run the rest of the way with a single, but it always comes back with that same decorative stitching that, you know, to match up with the rest of it. So sometimes my stuff doesn't always look cohesive, but there is a reason that I do things the way I do. So I'm just tearing off my stabilizer and trimming any little tails or loose threads that I might have. And that's what we look like when we're done. And now we'll trim off all the excess vinyl from around the stitching. That, and go across the top. I just follow my stitch line right down in that little groove and peel the tape off my pockets, and we are done. Cute, right? And quick and easy, y'all. It's so fast to make these. Michelle, I probably could. I will have to check on the dimensions of a passport and get back to you. I use my standard 7511 needle, Arlene. And I'm using tearaway stabilizer. And the spray that I used on the back is quilt basting spray. This one is by Dritz. It does not gum up the needle when you stitch over it. And I just use a tiny little bit on the back, and it just kind of holds my vinyl on just long enough to get that, you know, those first few stitches where it'll hold itself. Okay, sorry about that. Now we're back. I get my needles on Amazon. I have a blog post on the website that's called My Favorite Things, so you can find all of my products there. Everything that I use, or most of the favorite things that I use that come from Amazon, are on there. Let's see, what other questions do y'all have? So I'll check that for the passport and get the dimensions just right, and I can do something similar like this for a passport too. I think that'd be a great idea. So that's our final product, and I'm going to go ahead and stick some cards in here. I'll turn you back down so y'all can see what I'm doing. I'm going to go ahead and stick some cards in here, and I will show y'all that these, I'll put one in each pocket. How about that? One, so I've got a card in the very back, one in the middle, and one in the front. And you can shake and shake and shake them upside down, and they do not come out. It doesn't even budge, really. Like, I'm not holding it tight or gripping them or anything. And the cards are not coming out. See that? Yes, credit cards do fit. I'm just using my business cards so I don't show my credit cards. But I measured and I used my ID when I was testing it. I did use my ID and credit cards, and they fit just fine. And actually, playing cards are closer to the size of a credit card, and I measured that the other day to make sure, and that's how they measure up. See that? So it still gives, even with this one, it has a little bit more room on the sides, so you could stick a few credit cards in there in each pocket. Yes, I can put a link to this design. I should have went ahead and done that at the beginning, and that way I could pin it, and I'll go ahead and link it now. I'm grabbing it right now. Okay, I just posted the link for this credit card, or this card holder key fob. You can get it today at intro pricing of $2. And as of tomorrow, it'll go back to regular price at $3.95 for this particular one. Does that help y'all? I don't even have my cards out here. I would go ahead and show you with another card, but I'm trying to look and see if I have a store rewards card or anything out here, and I don't. I just don't have one at all. But I did check my measurements the other day with these, and the Uno cards matched up to the size of an ID and a credit card. So, but see how much smaller, you know, I do know that the business card is smaller than that. Actually, they're a little longer, but they are shorter, skinnier. But anywho, but yes, an ID, credit cards, store reward cards, unless they're just totally odd sized, they definitely fit. I use 10 to 12 gauge clear vinyl. The 12 is the one that I use the most. 10 will also work. It gets a little bit thicker. You don't want to get too thick, or it's hard to stitch through, and you don't want to go too thin, or it will tear away. Okay, good, Linda. Thanks for believing in me. So what do y'all think? I love it. I really like it, and I've made several I mean, I've just showed y'all 4 that I've made, and I've got 2 more stacks of materials out here that I'm about to make some more for my show that's coming up on the 25th. I'm trying to get several of these made up for that, so that's what I'm working on right now. I've got this pretty green and silver one, and then the red and heartbeats, and the LV, and some brown glitter. And this one, that brown glitter, came from my punk embroidery. It's really pretty. And then this one, and the one I did today. Thank you so much. Thanks, Linda. I try. But, alright, well, I'm going to go get busy. If y'all get your design, be sure to come back to the group and share. Y'all, I know the weekend was so quiet in there, and I apologize. I had a really busy weekend, and then the twins came over, and we went swimming, and it was all kinds of fun stuff. But I did not get to post much in the group, and I apologize for that. But I would really love to see everybody sharing. I just get, you know, I stay so busy with everything, and so I don't always get to post when I'm, you know, making stuff all the time and things like that. So I try to keep up, and I do see all the comments and posts and everything, and so I will comment on them, but it's hard for me to, you know, post new pictures of things when I'm not really making them over the weekend, because I don't get much stitch time on the weekends. That my weekends stay pretty busy. But anyway, so I do all my stitching during the week, and I do like to share that with you guys. So sometimes I save up pictures and post them when I can. But anywho, so I'm going to get off here. I've got some new stuff I'm working on, and tomorrow's live video will be the top zip quilted bag. That will be for like a candy bag. I can show you. Nope, I can't show you either. Well, I don't know where they went. There it is. So it's a top zip quilted bag, and I'm just now learning how to do the candy wrappers, but I am going to work on it some more, and I will show you guys tomorrow how I do that. I'm sure it will not be an amazing video because I haven't done very many of them. I've done probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 of the candy wrappers. Of course, I've stitched the bag, and it can be done with fabric too, perfectly, you know, quilting your fabric. But as far as the candy wrapper stuff, I'm still learning how to press my vinyl just right and get that vinyl fuse on there without it wrinkling up and stuff. So anywho, yes, Linda, that's it'll probably be around 11 o'clock. I'll post beforehand. But anyway, yeah, Linda, it will be available to watch later too, so that'll be okay. It'll be in the group. But anywho, okay, well, I'm gonna get off here, and I will see you guys later, and I will be posting some more stuff in a little while. Just to kind of share them what I'm doing today, because I'm just out here messing around. And I will talk to y'all later. Have a good day.